A very good evening to you. Thanks for joining us on the Thursday edition of the show. I'm Yemi Adebayo. Well, the dust has settled. We have a new manager for the Super Eagles of Nigeria. Tonight on the show, we will dissect all the angles, listen to the views of Nigerians on what the Nigerian Football Federation has done. We will also be talking about the Nigeria Premier Football League and also take a look at some new managerial appointments in the English Premier League. And of course, just before we came in to the studio a few hours ago, Everton sacked their manager. We'll talk about all of that, all for you as we go on the show. It's a two-man show. My colleague Austin Okonapan is suited and ready as we go along on this ride.
What a great things to you, Yemi, and of course, everyone joining us on the show tonight. Always an action-packed world of sports. And 2025 came with a bang, Yemi, and we're seeing drama already. Yes, we know coaches are hired to be fired. We're seeing that in the English Premier League. Mixed reaction as regards the appointment of the new coach of the Super Eagles. But we just cannot wait for him to, get into the business, see what he can do with, with the team, particularly as regards qualifying Nigeria for the 2026 FIFA World Cup. So welcome to Coach Chelle. We'll talk more about it on the show tonight. Also, what's going on in the Nigeria Premier Football League? I mean, you mentioned Eimba, back-to-back wins for them now. They told Coach Yema to leave, and it seems there's a new spark in the team. They're beginning to get the results again. Brown Ideye scored his second goal for the team. Back-to-back goals also for Joseph Atule. Maybe the team is just, getting their rhythm again. We'll see. We'll see when the season comes back proper.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll do just that. All right, Bolu Omoni joins us this lovely Thursday evening. Greetings to you, Bolu. Thanks for finding time to be with us on today's show. There's a lot to unpack.
I guess it's safe to say Happy New Year and good to be back again. And it's Eric to Chelle, period. And I hope this Eric won't hang. Too many things to discuss. Maybe, like Austin Riley said, mixed reaction and everything. But I'm sure we're going to have a beautiful ride there this evening.
All right, we're going to have a beautiful ride. All right, there's been reactions, mixed reactions all over town. So before we get Bolu to talk about this new development, let's also quickly take reactions. Of course, we'll bring in other guests immediately after that. But let's take reactions from Nigerians across board on the appointment of Eric Chelle as the new manager of the Super Eagles.
The announcement of Eric Chelle as new Super Eagles head coach comes months after Bruno Labbadia turned down the role. The 47-year-old Malian national will become the first African to lead the Super Eagles. This has attracted mixed reactions from football enthusiasts.
I believe we have capable coaches too that can do that here in Nigeria. They are doing well here in Nigerian league. We talk about the assistance of Coach Guavon, that is Ogumodedi and Ilichuku. These are grassroots coaches and will become a performance coach. And we've seen them.
It's a good one. They are trying to see what they can do. But I want to see how much this guy would do more than our own indigenous coaches. And then let's look back to what he has done at the AFCON. He qualified the Malian to the quarterfinal stage. That's the further he can done. The Super Eagles are a team to win the AFCON, not semi-final, not quarter-final. So I'm looking at the pedigree of what we have at hand. So I think we should go for something that's a lot better.
I think it's good because we know he has already trained at least maybe 3 or 4 countries before anything, before he comes to Nigeria now. The only thing that we need to support him. When we give him a good support, it's going to be good. And when people are, maybe some of people are talking side by the side, it's not up to it. Let us give him a full support.
NAS firmly believes that Nigerian boasts several qualified and experienced coaches capable of leading the Super Eagles to glory. Why then is the NFF sidelining local talents who have demonstrated their commitment and competence over the years.
Chelle's immediate task is to revive the Super Eagles' 2026 FIFA World Cup hopes, as they currently sit in 5th position behind Rwanda, South Africa, Benin Republic and Lesotho in Group C of the African Qualification Series.
Honestly, sports, aside from technicality and everything, you still need some element of luck. So if luck follows him, anything can happen. So I believe anything can happen. So if he's given good support, so with the quality of players we have, if he's given full support, well, we should be able to do well.
He begins his stint in March against Rwanda in Kigali and Zimbabwe in Uyo.
All right, so that's the man at the helm now and reactions. Okay, let me just yield to Austin, probably bring in our other guests. Then, of course, we set the ball rolling with the conversations we're going to have around the little matter of the appointment of a new manager for the Super Eagles.
You know, I mean, listening to the different respondents from that report, mixed reactions, and I won't blame people who are saying, why can't we look inward, see ways to empower our own coaches, you know, so they can grow. But we're the media, we'll stay in the middle, try to understand the different views. So let's go to Switzerland, where Swiss-based coach Anthony Adedeji joins us live on the show. Good evening, Coach. Welcome to Sports Tonight. And let me say Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to everyone in the studio. Good evening, everyone.
Fantastic. Eric Sekou Chelle, that's the new coach for the Super Eagles of Nigeria. We saw what he did with Mali. If you're to go by his statistics with the Malian team, I think it was pretty decent. What do you think about the new manager?
First and foremost, I would say kudos to those that appointed him, especially the ex-president Amadou Pinnick and the other shareholders. I think Eric right now is the right candidate to be there, because I remember I said something about him in July when he applied for the job. Before they gave it to Finidi George, I said I have a telephone call and SMS from some stakeholders that I should say my opinion about him, about other coaches that apply for the job. I told them Eric and Renard is the best choice. They should choose one of them. But unfortunately, they gave the job to Finidi George, and life goes on. But right now, they come back to him when the ex-president said we should be expecting enterprising coach. I 100% knows that is going to be an Eric. So for me, I already congratulate him and his other assistants. So I wish them all the best, and I welcome them back to Nigeria. For me, it's a great thing that is going to happen to Nigeria.
Tell me more. You said you recommended Coach Eric. What is it about him that makes you feel confident that he's the one to lead the Super Eagles?
You will see. I saw that for the past 10 years we have been playing negative football. Fans are not happy with the football we are playing. And when you look at the last AFCON, we lost so many personnel, great people because of heart attack. And I saw Eric in the AFCON. From the onset, when I saw him against South Africa, if I said, what type of coach is this? He dominated the game, won South Africa 2-0. Then it did not end there. Then I saw him again against Cote d'Ivoire. He played better than Cote d'Ivoire. Unfortunately, narrowly, they lost to Cote d'Ivoire by penalty shootout. Then what amused me, that makes me to come back again, and when I receive another SMS and call and say, what do you think about this guy? I said, this guy is the right guy for us. This guy beat us 2-0 against Mali in international friendly match. And he dominated the game for 90 minutes, playing positive football, not negative football. Attacking football, brilliant football. You dominated the opponents for 90 minutes. Then I said, no. I think I have to recognize this guy again, to give my own voice. But my voice is not the voice that allow them to choose him. I will not take the glory. I believe they know what they want, but I believe that by speaking my own voice, and I give God the glory that at the end of the day, at least I play my part.
Okay, let me hand you over to Yemi. I'll come back to you, Coach.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks for joining us, by the way, Yemi from Lagos. Do you think that this decision will guarantee us a place at next year's World Cup?
I can assure 250 million Nigerians, the patriotic Nigerians, that I know they are expecting a world-class coach. They are expecting a coach with a lot of achievements, a lot of luxuries in his locker room. But right now, the NFF and the Nigeria president, Modu Pinnick, and the shareholders and the NSC, I believe they have given us the anointed coach that can turn Nigeria football around in all departments. As long as they give him the chance to take the dominion, they give him the free hands to do his job. I want to tell you something. If they give him the opportunity to do everything he wants to do with our football, I think we will have the chance to qualify for World Cup, because if he can beat South Africa 2-0 hands down in AFCON, and we still have South Africa in the same group for the World Cup qualifying, we have Rwanda there. I think this man is the right man for the job. I want to plead on the NFF Nigerians to please support him, and let us forget about being from where he comes from.
All right, we're going to keep you with us, but let's bring the conversation to Lagos here. And Bolu is with me in the studio. Bolu, we've spoken off camera, but your immediate reaction to the appointment of Eric Chelle and Nigeria's situation. How do you see all of it? Where does it meet? What do you think will happen?
I'm definitely on the different opposing sides to Coach Adeyemi, maybe 99% of it. First off, the reason he was sacked by Mali is because he messed up their World Cup qualifiers. It's plain and simple. And we are bringing him to send us to the World Cup. Yes, he did well at the AFCON. But what about pre-AFCON and post-AFCON? Pesero was terrible pre-AFCON. He was great during the AFCON. He led us to the final. We still didn't extend his contract based on what we think he can take us forward. I checked before he took over the Super Eagles job. He coached in the 5th tier in France. He coached in the 4th tier of France. He coached in the 3rd tier of France. That was just 2 wins in 16 games. So based on antecedents, he's not better than the coaches we have in Nigeria. I was one of those that said, I'm maybe skeptical about everything, but he's not better than an Eguavoen. He's not better than... Yes, I know people talk about the Finidi George. Finidi George coach in the NPFL and won a league. He is struggling in the Algerian league. So, based on all those things, I don't think he's the man for the job. NFF are hiding when they were asked about the salaries and everything, and it raised too many questions. $50,000 reported for the coach and $5,000 for assistants. That's way too wide between them. But aside all that, we are all hopeful now. Because if we have a coach that we can beat our chest, that we will qualify for the World Cup, then why not just come home and leave, or probably leave a Gabon to it? If you don't, at least it's also if. Whoever takes charge in Nigeria is if he can, he may. But in all, this is what we have. We have no choice. We have to support, whether anybody likes it or not. Those ones that say they are protesters, I think those ones are jokes. This is what we have. We have no choice. Which brings us back to the question. As at Tuesday morning, the NFF president was telling us we will soon announce the coach. We don't know who we are appointing yet. And by night, you appointed the coach. So who is deceiving you? Who is lying to who? It means they knew what they wanted. I'm not sure it's January they agreed. This has been agreed. It's been recommended. The part I said, the 0.1% agree with Coach Ade. I was Team Avi Renard any day time. We can win AFCON with 2 different nations. And when people tell you we can't pay, Zambia paid Avi Renard. Are they richer than Nigeria or the NFF? I don't think so. Peter Mosiman is also one of those I thought are the best. And if we can't afford the elite managers in the world, definitely. But if we are getting someone, it has to be someone that has it. But the flip side to it is when the Westhouse and Co came, who knew they didn't have anything at the end of succeeding. So let's hope and wait and see whether Coach Eric Chelle will succeed with Nigeria.
All right, before we get back to Coach Adeyemi, I'm going to go across now and take a look at the stats so that our viewers could understand the journey of the managerial journey of Bolu has talked about it, but the managerial journey of our new manager Eric Chelle. So we'll quickly look at that. I'll go across now, and there you have it. The man at the helm now. Of course, what does he have? He has a UEFA Pro license. That's his coaching license. That's what he has. What is his preferred formation? This is something a lot of Nigerians would want to know. He prefers a 4-3-1-2 formation. He has handled 159 matches. He has won 70, drawn 42, lost 47. That's around, around 45% win ratio. We'll talk about that as we move on. Some other information we have about him. His managerial records, some of the teams that he has handled around that time. GS Consulate, he handled that team. Bolu talked about the Algerian team that he handled. That's MC Oran. He handled that team around, this was one of the teams, and he also handled the Algerian team as well. You also have this one as well from November 1, 2017. He stayed here for a while, around 4 years. FC Matrix, one of the clubs he also handled. 18 matches, 135, drawn 24, and lost 21. All right, and US. This was one of the French sides. He stayed there for, just about 7 months. 17 matches under his belt. He won 2, drew 5, and lost 10. Of course, he was there in 2021. But with Mali, this is the one that everybody has been talking about, from one eagle to another eagle. Eagles of Mali, Super Eagles of Nigeria. 21 matches, 113, drew 5, lost 3. Most people will say this is not bad. You have to say, if you're going by the stats, and of course, people are quickly pointing out the South Africa that's going to be your problem. He's handled them, played Nigeria in a friendly, dealt with us, so they say. So just looking at the pointers there. But some will also argue that we've had managers here that we did not appreciate. Have gone to that same Nations Cup and have won medals. So, on both sides. All right. Before I yield back to Austin, let me go back to Coach Adeyemi. There are many questions, Coach. You've told us many reasons why you feel that Eric Chelle is a good fit, but some we ask questions like this. For instance, you've coached Mali. Mali is not as big as the Super Eagles. He's going to handle players big players. Will that not be an issue? Do you think he will be able to handle, the current players in the Super Eagles squad? Because you have to work with what you have.
Thank you for asking me this question, Mr. Yemi. Before I answer the question, I have to unquote Mr. Bolu. He was not sacked because he was not doing well in Mali. He was sacked because he refused to listen to the FA, but they want to give players to him they want to oppose players to him that he have to play the players. Even with the best players, he put them on the bench when they lost their match against Madagascar, and that is the reason they are angry. That's why we want to take control, we want to take dominion of the dressing room, because the FA does not have voice in his voice. After he left, they still call him back to come and take the job. He refused to take the job before he went to MC Oran. And in FC Oran now is in cup final. So that is that. Let me say something about the information you said is playing. He's not just playing 4-3-2-1-2. He is playing a dynamic 4-3-1-2 system. Sometimes you see him switch to 4-2-3-1. Sometimes you switch to 4-4-3. He's a dynamic coach, play beautiful football, attacking football, more flexibility, flowing football. When lose the ball, aggressiveness, compact of the team that you can no space for the opponent to be able to contain them. That's what he did against South Africa and against Cote d'Ivoire. So right now, according to the question you asked, I am here to defend him. I don't know him in person. I have not met him before, but I love football. I love positive football. For many years, we have lost positive football in our land, and now we find somebody else who can do that job. Now we have to give him the chance to do it. I also speak about Siasa and Amuneke. But because I said when they don't have money to pay for the foreign coach, the first choice is Redna. But Redna demand too much of money, and they could not pay that money. And the second choice is Eric. But if Eric could not take that money, they would fall back to Siasa or to Amuneke. But unfortunately, luckily for us, Eric decided to stay and to collect that money. So my brother, I want to tell you something today. You will see something new, something beautiful in Nigerian football. It's a couple of times. We have some weeks left for the Shan Cup, then you see what is going to. You see the impact of Eric in the field of play.
All right, Coach, we're going to keep you on, but we need to go on a break. When we return from that break, there's still so much we want to talk about with regards to Nigerian football and a whole lot. So we'll go on that break and return to discuss some more on the new managerial appointment for the Super Eagles, talk about the Nigeria Premier Football League, talk about coaches in the English Premier League, a whole lot more. Let's go on that break and return for more on Sports Tonight. All right. Well, we're still on the matter talking about the Super Eagles. We have a lot of ground to cover, but this is a very interesting topic, and of course we have to talk about it. So, Bolu, Coach Adeyemi responded to some of the things you said, and I think our viewers are benefiting from hearing and seeing all of the things from all angles. But the question, I don't know if you have something else to say about some of the things the coach said, but do you think that this coach will get more support than what our indigenous coaches would usually get? Because, let's be honest, I'm not supposed to give my opinion, but I'll give it. I don't think it's better than what we've got. That's my opinion. Yemi Adebayo speaking. I don't think it's better. But let's leave that on one side. Do you think, because it's one thing to hire somebody, it's another to ensure that he has everything. And he's doing this job not for the NFF. He's actually doing this job on behalf of Nigerians. So at this point, you employed him, we don't really care. Everything, our hopes and aspirations rest with him now. So do you think he will get that support? I mean, that's what I'm worried about.
Well, first off, where he ended, he literally said what I said about why he was sacked. In the end, he did trying to tell him what to buy. It was still because they lost a game. And if his excuse was because interference, I will get more of that in Nigeria. Mm-hmm. Because we know the quota system. So for example, these Chan Eagles, there's a player from Smart FC. Why in God's name is a player from Smart FC in the Chan squad? Lower division and everything. So those things will happen. And you said something earlier about caliber of players, ego and everything. The truth is, he's a foreign manager. Probably that will let them give him more free hands. We know no matter who is coaching and is a Nigerian manager, there will be one or two questions. They will tell you one or two players. In fact, there was a reported rumor that some of the Chan Eagles, 4 of them, must be infused in the Super Eagles. We don't know how true it is. NFF didn't say anything about it, either true or false. But there was a story to that. So if that is true, that's the first hurdle. But I'm not in support of he should get it to the Chan Eagles straight up. He didn't call those players. He probably doesn't know any of them. Maybe it could be counterproductive, but irrespective of that, I'm sure Nigerians wouldn't mind Chan failing Super Eagles qualify for World Cup. That's the goal for now. That's the focus. And I wish the NFF can let him work. Because the truth, like I said earlier, either you like him or not, that's what we have. If they can allow him work, if it now messes up, you know it is on him. If it does well, everyone, I say it every time, everyone that says I no send Super Eagles is a lie. When the team works well,
let me
deal with them.
Before I allow Austin take the wheel, let me add something to what you said. It's not on him alone. It's on him and on them.
Yeah, definitely.
But Austin, take it from here. Your thoughts. I don't know whether you agree with what I said. Sometimes most of the time we're not allowed to give our opinion. But on this, because I'm a Nigerian, a patriotic one at that, my view has always been, will remain. I don't think it's better than what we've got, but it's all we have. So we have to support him.
That's it, I keep saying to everyone, at the moment, this is the decision that the Nigeria Football Federation have made. So we just have to support, the NFF, the coach, and the players, particularly with our campaign for the 2026 FIFA World Cup. We're in a very dangerous situation. Mm-hmm. And I've been putting on my socials that Coach Chelle has accepted a very difficult job. Let me go to Coach Adedeji in Switzerland. I like how you know the coach and how you want the best for football in Nigeria. But I'm hearing this coach will earn in the region of 80 to 85 million naira monthly. Coach Adedeji, you can tell that we aren't supporting our coaches the way we should. What's wrong with putting some investment in our own coaches, keep those money inwards, and then see where that they can go? In fact, triple the confidence you're giving to someone who is coming from Mali, put it on our coaches, and let's see, make it a long-term experiment for about 5 years. What's wrong with that?
I think that could have been the best thing that can happen to Nigerian football if we can go that direction. But unfortunately, we should also flash back. We have given our Nigerian coaches, many of the indigenous coaches, a lot of chance to prove themselves, and their best, their best was not good enough. The only person that make us to be proud in the Nigerian football is Keshi. May he so rest in peace. And Keshi was nobody when he came to the Super Eagles, because he was with Togo. He went to the group stage in the AFCON. He did not go back beyond there. So this man, I think the money you are talking about is true what you said, but I still stand on my word. I have not met Abmoju before. I have not met the coach before. Those I have known before in Nigerian football, is those that I spoke with, and I give my opinion. But one thing I want us to put at the back of our mind tonight is this: Abmoju, he may be listening to us tonight. It's not my fan, because I've been against him in your program here. You to yourself, you told me, Tony, are you serious? Are you castigating our coaches because of this?
You mean Coach Austin Eguavoin? No,
under 20 World Cup, when I was talking about Lamagloso, then I talk about recycling of coaches. That was during the regime of Abmoju, and he was angry with me. So I'm using this platform to tell Abmoju, I don't mean it against him. I'm just looking for the betterment of football of Nigeria. So for me, if we can have that money to give to our indigenous coach to improve them to the best of our knowledge, then that would be a good thing to happen to our Nigerian football. But at the moment, our coaches, I said it again and again, they should try to help themselves too.
You are a coach. Before I let you go, let's end with this. You're a coach, and I'm sure you understand the importance of communication and player management. I'm not going to say, oh, Coach Eric Chelle doesn't have it, but I see Mali also at events. I see the Super Eagles and our big players in question. You think he's going to struggle in that regard? Have in mind that his English isn't that fluent. How important is communication and player management?
First and foremost, communication within football, communication worldwide is the same, because football does not have a language. You only have one language. That is the first thing. Second thing, that I am 100% confident, because I'm in Nigeria, living here in Switzerland. Before I understand the language, I was coaching under 14, 16. I could not speak the language very well, but I experiment. I pass my message through my training. I play with them. He's a footballer. He has played football to the professional level. If he will play, when he told them what he wants, he will do it for them. Then they will do that. And I believe he can speak English. So another thing I want you to understand is Eric is a professional. He can put these boys on their toe, because Eric is a respected person. According to what I read about him and information I gather from him, because I gathered some information before I come today. He respects players. He wants them to respect him too. He live by example. And it's in the foreign country here, the first criteria as a coach that you learn in coaching school here in Western world is discipline. How coach can stand on the ground, and how you can put the players also where they belong. And how you can find a room in the middle for both of you to be a colleague in the field of play. After the field of play, then you become a manager and a player.
Coach Anthony Adedeji, thank you for your time. I think you've done a great job. Find a way to get into Coach Chelle's PR team. I think you're going to do well.
I'm looking forward for the NFF to give me maybe someone to analyze match for them, or tactical analysis.
Let's see how that goes.
Match reader,
we wish everyone all the best. Coach Chelle, you, yourself, the players, and most importantly, the Nigerian football fans. Thank you so much for your time on the show. So that's it. Coach Anthony Adedeji talking to us from Switzerland. Yeah, let's get on with the show now. Talk about the rescheduled Nigeria Premier Football League match. It's now back-to-back wins for Aimba. Before you get to the screen, Bolu, is Aimba back? Do they have the form that they want?
Well, but one thing is good. Win always finds ways to get you back on your feet. Remember, no win since October 27th. Now they've got back-to-back wins. And remember, we've been saying this for a very long time. Super Eagles players, before you retire, play 1-2 years in the NPFL. We saw Musa doing it, scoring back-to-back goals. Now we have Brown in day. You can call it new manager bounce. You can call it the impact of the new player. But it is working for them. They've got 2 wins on the trot. Now, hopefully this continues. Eyiba, one of the teams that always find ways to challenge everyone in the NPFL. And if you see them winning, I think anyone that come across them now will have to be thinking maybe these guys are back. Now with 3 games without a loss, 2 games with straight wins. Let's see what happens from that next outstanding match. But if Eyiba are back, pray for every of the opposition they will play, especially when they're playing in Aba.
All right. Okay, let me just go across the screen. A confirmation of the rescheduled game, the result, the one Bolu is referencing across the screen. The Aba Elephants beating Nasarawa United 2-1. That's a confirmation for you. And of course, it seems they're putting the wins together. Who knows? And like some people have said jokingly, if they want to be back on the continent, they need to start winning, because it looks like they might not be able to get out of that group that they're in the CAF Confederation Cup. All right, so let's travel abroad now. We'll yield the floor to Austin in a bit, but let's talk about it. This came as a surprise. Should I say it was a surprise? I knew something was going to happen. Sean Dyche, the Everton manager, has lost his job a few hours, like 2-3 hours ago. The owners of the club, the new owners, made that decision. There have been talks with the manager, and so this has happened. But let me come to you quickly. A lot of people will, say some things about Sean Dyche and say, look, he's the kind of manager that you need when you want to avoid relegation. But aside that, but some will also say the way it was handled is the issue now. Austin said at the beginning of the show, two types of managers, the one that has been fired and the one that is waiting to be fired. So, I mean, it is not new. Even the best of coaches get fired. Mm-hmm. So, the question I'm asking you is how it has been managed, and do you think it deserved to, because the story out there is that both parties felt this was the best decision.
The truth is that Everton's problem started when they sacked Sam Allardyce. The Allardyce picked them from relegation zone, pushed them into the top half of the table, and they felt now we needed to play beautiful football, and that's where their problem started from. Until date, they are still suffering. Sean Dyche is the manager that gets the job done. No matter how. Last season, it felt like these guys were gone. He did the same thing for years with Burnley. Mm-hmm. The question is, what is your target? And people blame Pep Guardiola for it. Everyone wants to play tiki-taka, pass the ball possession. You don't have the quality players. The manager don't even do like that. He's not thinking in that way. But this one was more like it's becoming too bad. Similar situation with West Ham United with Lopetegui. Sometimes they change in the manager and they find a way of turning things around. Look at AC Milan. Brought in Sergio Conceição, came back from goals down in the semi-final and final Super Cup, and they won. So if my team is struggling and I'm thinking of see what AC Milan are doing, see what by the NPFL are doing, maybe a change in manager, a new manager bounce can work, but it may be counterproductive. Ask my United fans. Change the manager still didn't change fortune for them, but let's see how it will work for them. For West Ham, they've secured Graham Potter. Let's see who comes in for Everton, but they need to find a way to survive. For the last 2, 3, 4 years, Everton have, at least normally they find ways to push. Let's see if we can make continents, no matter. But now it's been a relegation battle from match day one. Maybe the new change in the manager can affect them, but if they find a manager that will help them survive, no matter how we play, just keep him. If not, they will go back to the same problem.
All right, let me yield to Austin. The question on my mind is, well, I don't know if Everton supporters will agree with me. The investments into the club, does it justify wanting something better than what Sean Dyche is currently offering? Or does it look like the new owners of the club will pump money in January? Which one is it?
I think, it remains that he who pays the piper dictates the tune. You might be doing so well and the guy comes in and says, no, I just don't like him, so let him just go. Or comes with a new philosophy and says, this guy doesn't fit into it, so let him just go. Life is unfair, because if you look at Sean Dyche and how he was resilient with this Everton team, particularly when they went through the points deduction and everything, you want to just keep him. But on the other hand, it's disappointing the way Everton has been, particularly with attacking, So you look at the season and if we're not scoring, then there's a problem. Their last loss to Bournemouth, they had 0 shots on target. It's just difficult. They played in fact, the draw against Arsenal, they also had 0 shots on target. So people are wondering why didn't Arsenal go on to win that sort of game. But Everton, I think with this new management, they just want to reshuffle. They're playing an FA Cup match now with Peterborough. and they lead 1-0. Beto scored the goal. They had to take their under-18 coach, Leighton Baines, and the assistant to be in charge of this game. It was at the training ground today that they told Sean Dyche it is done. But hey, that's football for you. Coaches are hired to be fired. Let's listen to our talking points, coming out of that one. Sean Dyche is gone. Also, the West Ham manager is gone. Let's listen to, Graham Potter is unveiled as a new coach at West Ham.
A pleasantries exchange. Nice to see everyone this morning. Welcome on.
Very excited, very proud day to be head coach, manager of this amazing club. It's a big tradition, big history, big expectation, big challenge. So I'm really excited. It's almost a bit like Christmas for the adults. Excited, not the best of sleeps last night, but just from excitement, and really looking forward to meeting the players today. Really looking forward to meeting our supporters, getting going. Brilliant. Yeah, it's been 20 months. I think 20 months of a good rest, of a good break. And you can imagine in that time you speak to lots of people, lots of conversations with different owners and different directors and different things. But it was important that I think I chose the right option for me at the right time. And as soon as I spoke to this club, it just felt right for me. Felt right. Spoke with the board, spoke with everybody connected with the club, looked at the squad, looked at the academy, and this one felt the right one. And as I said, I'm really excited to be here. It's an amazing club with a tremendous loyal fan base that's passionate, that's knowledgeable, that knows the football, that knows what they like, knows what they want. And I think it's a good fit. So, as I said, looking forward to getting started.
West Ham boss Graham Potter, former Chelsea boss, by the way. Chelsea fans, can you remember Potter? He's really excited about this job, Yemi and Bolu. Julian Lopetegui stayed at West Ham for just about 6 months. Yeah, stayed in West Ham for 6 months, and he's been sacked. Now there's a new man in charge. Sean Dyche stayed in Everton for less than 2 months, less than 2 years. The guys in charge of the club now, I think the Friday group, they are also in charge of AS Roma. And I hear on local radio that some people want Jose Mourinho back at Everton, but it didn't end well with the same owners at Roma. So that seems to look like a deal that will not work. And they're looking towards David Moyes. With the situation that they are in at the moment, Bolu, going back to David Moyes or Frank Lampard, is that the best for Everton?
If they're going back to an old boy, it has to be David Moyes. It was, I think he's still the longest serving manager. I spent about 13 years with them before leaving to join United. Maybe that's a man that could get them the job, but sometimes it could still be the same problem. The issue they had with Jose Mourinho with Roma was, you guys are not spending and you want to win the UEFA Champions League. Now with Everton, you are not spending money, you want to win the Premier League. It doesn't work like that. Football now has gone are the days where you can have a starting 11 of homegrown players. These days, you may not even have one player from your homegrown team. Sometimes you just add them to score. So you need to find a way to invest to your level. People talk about Nottingham Forest. And in the last 2-3 years, since they got back, Nottingham has probably signed 50 players, reshuffling everybody till they got what they think is the perfect lineup. So you have to find a way to invest. There are reports that Mourinho have told them not in this lifetime, especially what I faced with you guys in Italy. It's not happening again. Maybe David Moyes, based on the fans will like him when he gets back. That one is almost certain. Probably there could be a relationship, but new manager bounce can work for like 2, 3, 4, 5 games. But if you don't, we are still in the winter transfer. If you don't have 1 or 2 players that could maybe complement what you have, by the end of the season, hopefully they won't be in the championship.
My advice would be, look at short-term, long-term.
Yeah.
Short-term, I'll be thinking of Sam Allardyce, people like that. Because all Everton needs now is to survive. You understand? David Moyes' resume doesn't indicate
relegation battle,
and it's never been in such situations. He got a little bit topsy-turvy in his days with West Ham, but I think it was about a season. But it's not the guy for the dogfights. It's not really that type of manager.
Lampadio, Samalada,
Yes, those kind of guys. Then you get to you survive. Then you look at
what are we doing after?
What are we doing? And the David Moyes case, you could think that because it was their longest serving manager, they were welcoming back with open hands. But fans can be very funny. They'll point out to the fact that look, you've coached some of our rivals. Just like you think, Rafa Benitez succeeded with Liverpool and that they will welcome him back. The fact that he went to Chelsea and Newcastle, some fans will never forgive him. So I just wanted to put that out. But we'll see what happens with that. I'm looking into my crystal ball as well. Some might even say Lampard is not a bad choice because look, all that matters now is survival. But maybe Austin can help us with this and also help us with some live score. The guy, do they want to invest? Because that's the real question. Yeah. The manager who is coming, now they put Leighton Baines. In fact, Seamus Coleman, the captain of the team, is also an assistant. Yeah. I mean, so can we say it was really a well thought out decision? That's even an under angle.
Looks like it's a reaction. Oh, okay.
It's a knee-jerk reaction. Maybe
they don't care.
Yeah. Maybe Sean Dyche didn't agree and just said, you know what, let's take a walk. Because we're hearing that there was a good compensation package worked into the arrangement. So the guy said, okay, you're giving me this much, I'll walk away. And he's walking away without anybody in charge. And so you have your captain and your former left back, who is with the under 18s coming. If I'm a manager and I'm seeing all of that, and I'm like, do I want to go into this? So I don't know.
But that's what it is. Leighton Baines is the coach of the under 18s, and for them that's development. They're playing Peterborough, which they think, look, we can just use these guys to get into it. I think Sean Dyche cannot feign ignorance that he didn't know that it's coming. His team has been woeful with attacking football. They've won just 3 games from 19. They sit in the 16th position on the log. That's relegation locking right there. And somebody has taken over, a group has taken over the club, put £400 million into the club. The first thing to do, that's the sad thing about football. You're going to look at the manager and say, who isn't doing it right? First thing first, let him leave. This is the game. They don't care if they lose or win today's game, but by the way, it's halftime and they lead 1-0. So they were like, okay, not bad. Then they will announce a coach maybe before the next Premier League game. And if they don't, then they are probably looking forward to doing something big that will make them survive relegation and gain some stability, because somebody has put so much money into the club now and they need to start seeing results. I remember what my friend told me, he's a coach also here. He said, inspirational and motivational words don't win you games and don't keep you as a coach. So you got to show workings. And that was what Sean Dyche didn't do with this team. Yes, he kept them in the league, but they are struggling at the moment. And the board needed to do something, and they did it just fast. Let's just take a look at some of the live results from the English FA Cup. We have that going on. It's round 3, by the way. Sheffield United are playing at home and they're losing. They're down by a goal to Cardiff City. Can you believe that? The game is in its 87th minute. So Sheffield United must do something fast. I talked about Everton. It's halftime in that game at Goodison Park, and they lead Peterborough by a single goal. It was Beto that scored for them. It's also halftime at Craven Cottage. The game between Fulham and Watford is 1-1. Super Eagles player Alex Iwobi on the starting lineup for Fulham in that one. That's the show. In London, I'm Austin Okonakwan. In everything you do, remember, keep talking sports. Bye for now.
Well, it's a wrap here in Lagos as well, but first I want to thank Bolo Money for his time on the show today.
So let's pleasure coming around.
All right, we're about to go. We're going to leave you with pictures from Australia, where the champions of the Australian Open, Arina Sabalenka and Yannick Sinner, the singles champions, brought back the trophy as we await for the first Grand Slam of the year. We leave you with those pictures. Enjoy the rest of the day. We'll be back here again tomorrow. I'm Yemi Adebayo. Bye-bye now.